Good afternoon. How are we, guys? Yeah, it's Thursday. One of the worst days of the week for sure. Thursday and Tuesday are just a little mid, you know. Right. Um, I think today I would like to make some satellite coils. All our fusion reactor components are doing quite well. Neutronium's doing good. Americium is doing good. Um, Europium is doing good. What else is there? Obviously the argon plasma's doing all right. Duranium. No liquid duranium. The tritanium should be doing great though. Yeah. One thing I might take a look at is I know I put an upgrade on this guy, but I'm debating whether or not I actually need to keep this on. I might put a threshold export bus on this. When it is above, actually when it's below, let's say 4096, it works. So currently tritanium is above 4096, which means this will not output liquid tritanium, which is good. I think that's what I want. I think 16,000 in the drawer is too much, but I think 4096 is a healthy middle ground. Neutronium, I might also do the same thing. This is a threshold export bus to keep 8 buckets of liquid neutronium, but I might swap that round so it is set to, if it's below 2048. With the option to adjust that if I need to. Okay. Oh, what are you? This extractor is empty. Gallium. We have no liquid gallium. It's getting used straight away. Liquid gallium is what we use to make duranium. Interesting. Is this the speed of the... Oh, there's no ingots. Okay. Can we not use the dust? We can use the dust. Then what the hell are we doing? Using the ingots. There you go. Oh, I see. Okay. I would like to swap all these energy hatches out for UHV ones, and then okay, these ones have been swapped out, but these middle three haven't. Were you swapped out? No. But you were, and you weren't. Yeah, so I need 5 more. We got 2. Let's get the converters. Right, and then if I get the pattern for the Zalloy coil, missing these 3. So Zalloy wire, I believe we can make, because we have the Zalloy. Okay. Then there's these 2 foils. So zirconium foil. That I don't understand. How can I make a Zalloy coiled EBF if I need zirconium foil, which is needed for the coil? How does that work? Anyone? To make Zalloy coil, I need zirconium foil. To make zirconium, I need a Zalloy coiled EBF. Am I missing something? Temperature? What about it? Oh, is there a different coil I could use to get the same temperature? I'm confused. The tier also raises the temperature. Okay. So what? I thought it might be the ABS, but there isn't an ABS recipe. There's no molten zirconium. Just this stuff, which we're already making. I'm really confused, actually. Right. Okay. It does tell you on the thing. That's really confusing. They're like, oh yeah, you need Zalloy coil, but I can do tritanium. Even though the heat capacity is 100 higher, 100 Kelvin higher. But apparently it says it's fine. Because EBS gain heat for every tier above MV. Okay, that's so confusing, but like, that's just such a weird way of doing it, but it is what it is. Right. It'll be fine. It's just really weird. Okay, so obviously I need that. And then I also need this foil, which is neutronium silicon carbide, which I get from the heat chamber and mixing all this stuff. Do I need activated carbon for anything else? No. Activated carbon is only used to make silicon carbide. So, do I want to make a chem plant that does it? Or do I want to make an EVF that does it? And a pyrolysis oven that does it? I'm honestly happy with just doing it in a chem plant. But I don't know if that's just overkill. I'll do it in EVF. I just think it's less hassle. Okay, these are all done. As are these coils. Let me come down to these. Right. And there we go. Okay, now they're all UHV. Good. Well, I've just shoved some zirconium in there. I have to make the dust of this, right? There is no faster way of getting the ingot, is there? No. Maybe it being a perfect overclock machine would help. Bus. UOV. Okay, and then for this, docking bus. No fluids are needed, which is good. Right. We need neutronium, silicon carbide, niobium nitride, and graphene. We have most of those, I believe. Yes. Okay, it is just the silicon carbide that we don't. And then what setting was it on? 2. How best to do this? Honestly, it might have been best to do... Keep a drill, man. How do I squeeze this in? I think this is probably the best thing to do. Okay, and stocking, let's put this stuff back in. So the graphene, niobium nitride, neutronium, silicon carbide on setting 2. So now I make silicon carbide, which is made with activated carbon and silicon dioxide in an EBF. And then we will use a pyrolyzed oven to make some activated carbon. Use one of these old wood tar ones. What were you used for in the pyrolyzed oven? You're probably used to make the wood tar. Let me put a stocking hatch on these. Right. Nitrogen. And carbon. This might run really quick. What I'm gonna do... Let's do that. Then we put carbon dust in here. Setting 1. There it is. There's a different output bus.
It's a raid! What does?
Evangel, thank you for the raid, dude. Evangel. Who knows? Sorry, you can tell me. How's it going? How is your stream? Stupid troll, man. Finally called the Wither after 800 hours. That sounds like a GTNH stream. Is that what you were playing? Of course. What got stuck here? The fluid solidified got stuck. Well, we are playing StarTech over here. Started in the Abydos dimension, which we are now reaping the benefits of because it meant we could skip making the Stargate before doing all the Abydos stuff. This thing got stuck. Aluminum glass. It's because this needs to be a dual hatch, really. Or... No, okay, I'll just do. Report these as inaccessible. I did get the lag under control. I'll tell you what it was in a second. Let me just sort this out. It makes a lot of sense what it was that was causing it. Well, we thought it might be AE2, but it was definitely to do with my storage. That did fix this. Good. Right. If I come up here. So last stream we built an RHF. Parallel EBF. Very good. But what was here before was my colossal chest, because in StarTech we've got the colossal chest mod, and it's easily the best way to store your items early game. So I hadn't moved my item storage to AE2. So what I'd done is basically had a UV UHV level base with all this infrastructure, and all the throughput of all my items was running through the colossal chest. And I was killing it. I was really killing it. So we got rid of the colossal chest, replaced it with a load of item storage cells. And we're good. Yeah, we also made a load of wireless connectors and split my AE2 system up as much as we could. He's completely right, but it's hilarious that we did like all those TPS checks and we had this overlay on, right, that tells you all the TPS stuff, and the colossal chest just didn't really warn us that it was being as bad as it was. Obviously it makes sense in hindsight, right? But it just wasn't, it was not very clear at first. Right, we have activated carbon now. Good. Let me lock the drawer. Yeah, I don't think I will use it again, to be honest. Oh, whoops. Right. With my activated carbon, we are going to do this EBF. Silicon carbide. Which I believe is just used for this recipe. Okay, also for this one. Do this with the quantum coils, I think. Yeah. I mean, oh, whoops. It was nice to have early game, and I just never, but it was just so good that I never needed to change it. Right, let's grab another stocking bus. So, for silicon carbide, I would like silicon dioxide and activated carbon. Was there a setting? No. Okay, I also need a fluid output. Right, and then a level emitter and machine controller, of course, to level emit this silicon carbide to 64. Yeah, that takes one tick. That is not in the least bit surprising. Silicon carbide, which means this mixer should have turned on. Yes, takes 1 second. Oh shit. I think I would rather have this, yeah, in a tiny drawer. There you go. Okay, so the TPS before Precarious, right? It got as bad as like 10, right? I do it now. A clean 20 across the board. It was genuinely all in that colossal chest. That was the entirety of the lag. My game, instead of running at half speed, is now running at normal speed. A second is actually a second, and it is fantastic. I'm very pleased. Right, this neutronium silicon carbide needs to go in a heat chamber. Can I make the super compact one yet? No, I need dated DNA discs, which need the runicalium stuff. Fantastic. Right. I'm going to need a second heat chamber. How many neutronium frames are in a heat chamber? 64. Yes, you absolutely should. When I've got a base this big, you know, at UHV and I was worried that like all the infrastructure here was making my game lag. I was like, what's wrong with my computer? It shouldn't be lagging this much with only this amount of infrastructure. And then it was the entirety of the lag, every single bit. All these machines were doing nothing towards the lag. The lag was literally just the colossal chest. Right, what else do I need? I need a stack of titanium coil. Let's get that going. I mean, we never had any crashes or anything. We've been pretty... We've had, like, one or two, and they were, like, not really anything specific. 116 pipe casing. High temperature casing was, like, 100. $116. Jeez. How much ECE? Oh, extreme engine intake casing. 40 and 85 bucks. I am amazed that nothing went wrong, really. Right. Here? Where's the middle of this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Crap. It was there. Nope, sorry. This stupid drill. Okay, this, and then that is what we want. I love that this drill has auto pickup, but I just hate that it is definitely too fast. Right. Boop. Oh, missing all the enderium casing. There we go. I need a flux bore. I miss my flux bore. I'm pretty sure Spider linked me a mod that I could have installed that would give me something like the flux bore. And I just didn't do it. Yes, that's probably the one. I have not. I think I might have played it like once ages ago. And didn't get very far and then gave up. But I will probably be attempting GTNH after this unless people want me to play Terra Firma Greg more. We will see what happens. The matter manipulator? I wonder if someone has. How good is it? What does it do? Right, I think this is all in. Everything's okay. Basically, copy paste gadget on steroids. Ooh, okay. I'm intrigued. With built-in crafting. Nice. Okay. Stupid drill. Right. Reduce this down, add some tape. Add a parallel hatch. That's pretty cool. This pack does. I've linked my exchanging gadget and stuff to my AE2 system, which is nice. But like, auto requesting items I'm missing for the copy and paste is really good. Yeah, ain't no spray can. Oh, I'm actually looking forward to the next Greg Modern where you have the linking of the hatches and stuff, right? Instead of using distinct. Yes, Theta gnome. If I get my copy paste gadget and I come over to my AE2, and I come to my wireless access point and I do this, it links my copy paste gadget to my AE2 system. I don't know. I think they're forking their own version, which is weird. I think that's why it's taking longer as well. Right, this thing. I'm sure Hypercrafting knows. This is ZPM takes 10 seconds. So if I just do UV4, it'll be fine. Boop, boop. Swap that round. Grab a flux point. Yes, they are. They didn't like certain changes they were making, but obviously wanted to be up to date, so they decided to fork their own version instead. You know, I think it's a bit weird, but it is what it is. I can't update anyway. I think I'm too far into the pack to be able to update. And to tap very gently to not break this stuff when I get here. Yeah, good. Right. So, if I want to get these ingots, I guess so. I mean, it'll be exclusively for this pack, but there is the new version of modern. What were they doing with LCRs? Are they making the coils in LCRs do more things? Well, there's going to be one for this pack, but I think there's also already a new version of Greg Modern. I don't know. I'm not very good at remembering how all different versions of Greg work. All I remember really is there's the GTNH version, and then there's the modern version. Which is weird because I played Moni Factory first, like the whole way through to completion, right? Before I even like considered playing StarTech. Right, and this needs peak. Love a bit of peak. I'm gonna need to tell my subnet to be able to see those items and ME output. That should have formed the block. Why didn't it? Why did the multi not form? I don't see anything that's like really obvious. Yeah, the microminers were definitely the most finicky bit when I was playing as well. This is confusing me. Let me just terminal it and see what happens. Oh yeah, no, I was using conduits as well, and then they just eventually told everyone to they added the laser IO energy things. Ender IO was just really buggy, right? Right. Okay, it wasn't the coil. I don't mind laser IO. I think the laser nodes look ugly. I really like being able to do multiple things through one face of an item. Yes, like Precarious, for example, whenever I need to do an assembler or mixer recipe that needs a specific amount of items, so I need to use a robot arm, but then I also need a fluid, so I need a pump on the same face. I can't do that, right? I have to use a separate face to put the pump on and then have the robot arm on the other one. And there's so many times I wish I could just put everything in there, do the same thing, and Laser IO could do that for me, like with a counting filter and a fluid card and an item card. You could totally do it. I love Laser IO specifically for that reason, but I still can't bother to use it at all, which is such a shame. I think if I had better AE2, like if you could use it with AE2 a bit better, I would like it more. Like pulling items out of interfaces, and then the interfaces are linked to a laser node, and then it's just like a whole thing, right? I know modular routers is such a powerful mod, but I'm just not very experienced with using it. What am I doing? I want to know why this isn't being made. Um, I have this casing. How is this supposed to look on the inside? Oh, is there supposed to be more pipe casing here? I reckon that's what it is. It's the pipe casing. Boop. Yeah, there was 10 missing pipe casing, and now we've got the block. So, let me come to my AE2 network, my subnet, sorry. Right, I would like my subnet to be able to see my silicon, neutronium silicon carbide dust, and my polyether ether ketone, my peak. There we go. And I should turn on the heat chamber. Yes. Did I level limit this? If I want to level limit it, the best way for me to do that is probably a wireless connector, machine controller, level limiter. If I do this, I do this, and then put this on. Oh, that's not the controller block. The controller block's one underneath. Okay, hang on, wrong way around. This goes here. Just pause you. This and this and this. Okay. Okay, the block multi's still formed fine. That's good. Okay, and then you are going to be set to 64. Now there's 60, 64. Why? Emittment levels are below the limit. Why does it think this below the? Because it's not in the subnet. Right, now I need to see this in here. To be honest, Matthew, I've just not really changed the playlist. Right there. It is feeling a little repetitive, but you hit deity again yesterday. Did you play any Ishtar? Right, let me grab some of this, and let me grab some of the just Jingwei. That must have been boring. Right, let me make 3 of these patterns. Let me get this as a foil. Okay, and then I go to assembler, and I have 3 assemblers that all have the same thing, so they do things at the same time. Right, the Zaloi. Nice. Right. With the Zaloi coil done, how close am I to getting the UV motor? So this still needs... I need to get this stuff. This stuff I make with these 2 things. I'm going to bookmark those both. This one's really easy. LCR, iron, selenium, no problem. The other one uses strontium, which is one of the processing lines from the Abydos materials that I've not done yet. I need to get this dust, supposedly. Do I have the molten version of this? I do. So this needs to go in the autoclave. We'll sort that out. Oh, this is where the ruthenium's getting made. Right, I need to change this energy hatch out for a UHV 4 amp as well. What's under there currently? Is it UV16? ZPM 4 amp? Really? Wow, well that's due an upgrade. How's the power? Power's good. Let's come over here. So this is the autoclave, right? No. This is the autoclave. So I want to put this stuff in here. I have no deep slate dust. We burnt through the whole lot. Whoops. Right. So this strontianite stuff, to process it, it's just macerate or wash, thermal centrifuge, macerator, the usual. That sounds good. Okay. Then the thermal centrifuge. That's the regular centrifuge. I'm lost. That's the sifter. You're a centrifuge. This is the thermal centrifuge. And you will take purified strontianite. And then we macerate the refined one. That is all the strontianite processing. Then it gets electrolyzed, sure. And that's it. And then we get strontium. Brilliant. That's really easy. Grab that for the quest. And then let's go. Is there an electrolyzer out here that is used for... I'm going to use this one. There we go. Strontium. So now I need to make both into oxide versions of themselves and then mix them. Sure. Do I have anywhere I'd want to do that? Probably up here. Hey, Meat Weasel. I'm out of drawers. And then we use this weird light blue concrete. Yeah. 4 more. And then we get it in white concrete. We got ads coming soon, so during the ad break, we will play some GeoGrid. Oh. I will quickly go change this out. Can't believe that was ZPM. I should speed up all this stuff. Like this alloy. If I want like 20 more. Okay, sure. Right, back to the LCRs. Okay, stocking of both. Okay. So some titanium. And some oxygen. And some strontium. Some oxygen. Then auto maintenance hatch. Auto maintenance hatch. Bit more PTFE and a couple coils, and we'll be good. And then we'll go to GeoGrid. Why are these incomplete? They already had coil. Now the ones on this side are incomplete. What did I do? There we go. And these are both done. There we go. Okay, right, GeoGrid. Let me load it up real quick. Right, today is Thursday. And here it is. Right, GeoGrid. Aim of the game. Get the least common answers for these boxes. Two very similar ones with CO2 emissions. Top 20 in rail transport networks size. Top 20 in annual tourist arrivals. Top 20 in annual consumption per capita. Right. Okay. Rail transport network size. I know Spain is on here, so I think it would be cool if... Sure. I don't really want to do China. That's like too common, obviously. I mean, these are going to be pretty common. India. Okay, sure. Oh, I shouldn't do that. I'm not great with nuclear power ones. I don't think I do nuclear power. Oh crap, I got one wrong. Okay. Really? Oh crap. Does Ireland have a nuclear power station? Nope. Oh, jeez. This has been a pretty crap one. None of these are very easy to get legendaries on. I only got 4 guesses left as well. Oh, okay. I'll take that. I'm really surprised that that was legendary. Okay. Italy top left? Sure. Ooh. France for alcohol and nuclear? Oh, I'm willing to give that one a go. I would say France is like France for the middle one would be really obvious, right? But I like it for this one. Oh, not bad. Right, 1 guess left. Okay, let's try this one, and I'm gonna go Hungary. Crap. France is most common for both of these two. Well, there's no winning that. I picked the right one for Germany, though. Jeez. Okay. Right, least popular answers. Netherlands for either of these. South Africa. I knew the network. I had that in my head. I had South Africa in my head for rail network, and I didn't put it in. I should have done. Okay. Andorra for this one. They're a top 20 in alcohol consumption per capita. I guess it's per capita, right? Tough. Not our best geogrid. We've done much better than that before. All right. No, I know. I wonder why that is. Maybe, um, maybe it's random, like the way they do the daily ones. It just so happened it picked CO2 emissions each time. Right. These need to get mixed together into this stuff. So I need 2 mixes together. I'll probably go do it down here again. Right, next ad break will be time guesser, where it's a picture and you've got to guess the location of where the picture's taken and the year it was taken. I'd say there's quite a big difference. I mean, obviously the Greg Modern stuff means that there's quite a big difference just to begin with, but then for early game, I say early game, I mean like HV. They add this multi-block upgrade kit, which turns some HV machines into these little 3x3 multi-block versions. And these have perfect overclocks on them, so you can get some really sped up recipes with these. I'm using them here with these mixes. I quite like these things. They're quite cool. And they're a StarTech exclusive thing. And then there's also just like there's these ore factories, which use ore processing, which are a StarTech thing. I imagine the heat chambers, I don't know if they're a Greg Modern thing or not. I imagine they're a StarTech thing because they use this Enderium casing. There's the chem plants. These chem plants can do whole processing lines for you. It's like a pretty late game thing. I say late game. You know what I mean. Not quite end game. So, for example, I could do all the plat line in one machine. Same with Naquada and stuff. There's the peak one as well. I think there's quite a big difference from GTNH. I think GTNH is really good at like incorporating other big popular mods into its progression, whereas StarTech seems to mostly just be Greg with StarTech's own changes added to it. If that makes sense. Right, let me grab another upgrade for this. Stupid drill. And you know, it's got its own unique coils and stuff. Like we've got this alloy coil. I know that Greg really loves using the molybdenum disalide coil for some of its machines at the chem plant. There's a lot of late game multis that are quite insane in StarTech. Right, am I going to need more of this Kovar stuff? Yeah, all the HV perfect overclock multis use like some weird unused alloy that's only used for this thing. So for example, the Kovar here for the large mixer. Right, I would like to mix this together and then these two together as well. So I'll grab 2 stocking buses. Grab these 2. Was there a setting? No, no setting. And I've been using UV 4 amps as a baseline for quite a while. This will be insanely fast. Like way too fast, but it's fine. I'm glad we have flux networks. Flux networks is really nice to have. I will say. In Moni Factory, at least the version I played, was when the EU P2P tunnels were insanely broken. I do kind of miss those, but I get why they're not they're not used, because it was just too strong. I think using your AE2 network to both carry power and convert it into the right voltage was like ridiculous. Now we just have energy P2Ps, which I'm not touching. Right, I need some URV buses. Oh, RF to EU conversion is kind of tedious. No, I agree. It is, well, especially when you're using since Greg has no I mean, I know I have the Dream node things. These are like wireless StarTech Greg wireless power things. But it is annoying that Flux Networks is, you know, RF, and then you have to convert everything. Crap. I knew I was going to do that. Right. Draw controller. Okay. Now I need to make this stuff and then mix it. Okay, so back up here to my LCRs. Turn this off. Oh, this is like the Krypton stuff. This is like the Magic Crop stuff. That stuff's fine, right? Yeah. In the one thing that StarTech does try and do with a different mod is tries to make mystical agriculture and integrate it with Greg. But they're literally removing all of this in the next update. So as much as this is like kind of cool with like some cool LCR processing lines, it's all going to go anyway. I don't really know why they're getting rid of it. I didn't think it was too bad. I just think that you don't like it. I just think that the multi-blocks are kind of boring. The machines are boring. I think if the machines are more interesting and you kept the cool processing lines, it just wouldn't be that bad. No, I agree. It does feel a bit out of place. Some more PTFE. Good for hard mode.
Keep following and following. And when we
Thanks for the follow, dude. I appreciate it. Yawned. Right. I need to do this recipe. Iron and selenium. Pretty easy. Just need a stocking bus. An output bus. Grab one of my drawers. Grab a downgrade for said drawer. Fill this in. Right. Said PM energy hatch. Another thing that StarTech does do is it adds its own superconductors, right? And these superconductors are really broken. Their amps are ridiculous. I have a 1x wire here that does 96 amps as ZPM. The LV one is Solarium, and a 1x one of these is still 4, right? And then I go to like HV, which is Lumium, and it's up to 16 on a 1x wire, right? I kind of wish they weren't as good as they are. It just feels a bit pointless. They're really cheap when they're 1x wires, right? And I can run them as long as I want. But one thing that is even worse than the amps on the superconductors, in my opinion, is the turbine rotors they add. So you got all your normal ones, like HSSS is always quite a good one to have, right? And then you get up to neutronium and you do your thing. Like neutronium is like you're pretty firmly in like late game, right? 250% turbine efficiency, 400% turbine power, right? That's your neutronium later game turbine rotor. Let me go look at the StarTech exclusive ones, right? So, for example, the Dragon Steel one, which is the ZPM one, right? 380% efficiency and 1100% turbine power. Like, it's insanely better than the neutronium one, and I can get that before I get the neutronium one. Stellarium, 660%, 3,200% turbine power. It is ridiculous how good these things are. This is my supreme plasma turbine. This is like my my plasma gen. I mean, these are also plasma gens, obviously, but this is like my main one. I'm doing argon plasma. Currently, it has a melodium turbine rotor. I could make a stellarium one, actually. I might do that. Right, change this out because it gets a bit buggy. And then... And it's not even boosted, that's right. Take this out. Oh, hang on, I shouldn't be doing this way. This way. Right, and then the screws. And the bolts. Okay. Bolt. Screw. Turbine. Here. Also grab one of these in here, and then double plates. Right, let's grab this thing. What did Moni end up doing for power with no conduits? Without Ender IO conduits, do you remember how the Ender IO conduits were the superconductors, right? Like they were made from the conduits were made from like the vibrant alloy and whatever the other stuff were. I remember the vibrant alloy, but none of the other ones. Like the green one, right? Oh, and there's like the Skulk one as well. What they did is they made laser IO energy card versions of all of those superconductors, and you used laser IO. And obviously all your H&N stuff had to be powered that way, right? And for H&N, it was like, it was okay because you were doing so many inputs and outputs with H&N anyway that using laser IO kind of made sense for it. But like using it for all the Greg stuff was just terrible. But that's why the EU P2P was just so good. I don't know what Moni Factory does now. Right, here it is. So this currently gets me 14 million EU a tick. And now it's going to be 22 million EU per tick. That's going to need to speed up, obviously. And it's not boosted yet. So if I hover over the tooltip, the massive tooltip for the Supreme Plasma Turbine, it's got lubricant boosting with tungsten disulfide, which is a thing. And then the coolant for it is superstate helium-3. I don't know. I don't mind the cabling. I think I like the idea of the superconductors in the sense that I don't like having to coat all my wires into cable to use them for power, right? I don't like the voltage loss. I think that's really annoying. Or the loss per meter thing. I don't like that. But I don't want OP cables. I want like cables to, you know, wire replacement with bad RF alternatives. I don't know. I like how the cables work. I just don't like the cables losing amps or losing volts per meter, right? That's really annoying. Like, I get why it's a thing. It means that you're never going to use any of these cables if they're bad, right? Modular combustion power. How is that going to work? I'll show you the Greg power tab, not the Greg power tab, the StarTech power tab. You know, it's pretty basic Greg stuff mixed with some thermal series things. No one, I say no one does solar panels. I'm pretty sure someone in my chat use solar panels. I think Spider used solar panels. But they're like really expensive and just not really worth it. The create stuff was kind of okay. I never used it, but I know people who were more familiar with create. The create stuff, by the way, in this pack is all optional early game alternatives to Steam stuff, basically. But yeah, there is the create new age power stuff. Yes, it's very OP. If you know what you're doing with it, it's very broken. There's also laser IO, but no one uses it, obviously. And then there's the Steam stuff. Lapidary dynamos, which are much like whatever they were called in Moni Factory, the ones that use diamonds for power. I use these quite a lot. 4 of those coils carried you to EV. I could have done with those then. I think that the lapidaries got me to about EV as well. But I ended up doing the diatrons with them as well, which was a bit of a pain, but they're really worth it, to be honest. And then there's all the Dreamlink stuff, which is, I'm assuming, just like wireless power in an area. Wireless Greg power, that is. But I haven't got to it yet, so I don't really know how it's going to work. Right. Let me crack on. Well, hang on, how's this doing? You've already caught back up. It's up to 5 million. But it can go up to 22. I mean, I'm sure you'd use them as boilers as well, right? Instead of just regular dynamos. Boilers into steam. Turn this in and use steam power. Large steam turbines. I don't know. I enjoyed what we did. I did large gas turbines with nitrobenzene, which is the most fuel efficient thing in this pack. Like in Moni Factory, it's the extreme combustion engine with gene gas, right? In this, is probably nitrobenzene in the gas turbine. Which is good. I got rid of those literally like the other day. They used to be along here. And these used to all be gas turbines too. But now they're all plasma. The plasma spam in StarTech is pretty insane. We've got all this, and then there's going to be more. It's pretty. I mean, you know, compared to the amount of infrastructure I have for the rest of my base, the amount of fusion reactors I have is just really disproportionate, isn't it? But it's needed, so. Right. I was making those mixes, and I was making that LCR, and I got really distracted. Went on a little rant. We were here, and I wanted to plug this in. And I need to put in the iron and the selenium. There we go. Takes 5 ticks. Sure. We've got the downgrade in there. Good. We'll lock the drawer. Bring the cable over. And storage bus this thing. Oop. There we go. So with iron to selenide, that needs to get mixed with the strontium titanium oxide we just made to make the thing we need. I have no idea where I'm going to put them hypercrafting. I've not thought that far ahead. Which I'm probably going to regret. Right, there it is. Takes 15 seconds. That's not too bad, really. Right, and there it is. I will grab the dust. I thought a quest would complete. It totally didn't. Unlucky. Why did the Zalloy coil not complete the quest? That's done. That's done. Because I haven't held any ruthenium, trinium, americium neutronate. There you go. Right. Now that I've got this stuff, supposedly it goes in an EBF, and then this is used to make fine wire, and the fine wire is used to make the micro power router, which is used to make the UHV electric motor. There's also the transmission assembly, which I can make, and the super magnetic core. This is all StarTech stuff, obviously. Pure netherite rod, samarium, zalloy, zirconium, and neutronium. Sure. Yeah, all these extra components for the UHV stuff is kind of insane. And they're made in these little, like, assembly line logic machines. I've got mine down here. So, using Tom's inventory connectors, by the way, to link up all my assembly line things is actually quite cool. Right, let me make some patterns for these then. So if I need the micro power router is made like this. These need Zalloy plates, which I can do. I can make this wire. I believe I can anyway. Right, what else? 2x version of it. Oh, hang on. Where's the cable? Yeah, I want to make sure I'm using the good rubber for this. Let me see. This, use this one. Good. This. Chuck that in there. And then the fine wire. There we go. Okay, so fine wire goes in, then the 1x wire, the cabling, the plates. Am I out of space for plates? Looks like I am. Okay, let's get an expanded pattern provider. Go to the auto crafting. It's making a noise like it's on, but isn't making anything. Right, we'll set you to 1, you are a distinct bus, and then you're called whatever these are called. Vendor plate 1. Sure. It will show up as a different thing because it's made from a different pattern provider that's bigger. That's okay. Right, let's come back down. So this thing, where's this thing's pattern provider? Here it is. Chuck this in. So just need to get the EVF for this made, and then we'll be good. Yeah, it needs titanium coil. That's gonna be fine. Grab the muffler hatch, rotate it inward. How long does this take? 80 seconds with the Krypton. That's a really long time. Let's grab a configurable maintenance hatch then. Reduce the duration by 10%. Stick some tape in. You need Krypton. Right. Stocking bus. ME output bus. Testing 2. Face downwards, put this in. Structure's formed. Okay. How long do you take? 38 seconds. Sure. Gonna grab a machine controller and a level emitter. Okay. Just say a stack of these. Right. It should be able to freeze just fine as well, right? Yeah. Seems to be fine. Okay. That is the micro power router sorted. So that's one of 3 of the components needed for the motor. Supermagnetic core. We'll do that one next. Okay. So we're missing zirconium wire, which doesn't need setting 3, but can just go in there anyway. Xaloy rods in the lathe. And that's it. Okay. Chuck this in. And then finally the transmission assembly, which doesn't look too bad. Just need some rounds. Rings. Okay, there we go. Now the pattern for the UHV motor. Oh, I can't type. UHV motor. Right, I think I have all those things. Just need to do long rods. Right, and then you currently are overclocked with 2. This isn't even powered. Let's swap this out for UHV stuff. I see what I've done. Hang on. I need this thing to make me the coil needed to make the UHV energy hatch. So I need to keep this going for now. Give me a 4 amp to replace it. And then we'll try and craft a UHV motor. The other thing I did need to do was make this machine, because this machine is what I need to start making the runic convergence circuit boards, which are the next tier of circuit up. This stuff, I need this block, and this block needs the runic wave generator, and the runic wave generator is very expensive. I need a stack of energy clusters, which is insane. I currently have 48. I already made 1 runic wave generator, I believe. Did I? I feel like I did. Maybe I didn't, and I'm going crazy. Either way, I need 2 of these runic wave generators. 1 to make this block and to use it in the multi, and then the other one for the research of said multi. Thank you, Meat Weasel. So many bots today in the chat that you guys can't see, but they are consistent. Right. UHV energy hatch. UHV converter. Swap it around. Put this here, bypass them in. There you go. Okay. UHV motor. Now, obviously, like, this needs 3 separate parts, which are all made in the same thing. So I might need to split these recipes up. I might need to just set these up all on parallel. I don't know. I don't think the component part assembly can take any parallels. No. It has subtick parallels and assembly line logic. The motor is crafted in an assembly line, not a component part assembly, but I just pushed it all through here. God damn it. Can avoid that. Sorry. What was here? I know that was there. Let me just terminal the rest. Let me come up to my assembly line then and put this in. Just making a load of wetwares to make these energy clusters. How annoying. Right, I haven't even made the pattern for this thing yet, so there's a very low chance that I actually I'm going to have to put the stuff for the wave generator in by hand. I had a feeling I was going to have to do that anyway, because of the clusters, right? They would get stuck. I should make the foil for these. Where's for days? Okay. There's so many more components. What I really wanted to do was to make this multi-block, the cyclonic sifter. This thing sifts through the Abydos materials, and in return gives you richer versions of the magma, and the richer versions of the magma, when shoved through a molten destabilizer, which is like kind of just like a distillation tower in a way, gives me way more of this stuff than the poor version of the magma would. So, for example, the Zapolite, 80 buckets into 30, so 8 to 3, versus the poor magma, which is 60 to 1.5. This is so much worse. So I really want the rich magma as soon as I can, which needs the cyclonic sifter. Cyclonic sifter needs this weird green casing, this quake-proof casing, which I made. I made all this stuff, and it was very expensive. But I can't afford the controller block because I haven't got these UHV components made yet. So I need to do the pump and the field generator next. If I go to the quest book, there's the pump, and then the field gen is up here. So I need to do the emitter and the pump and the field gen, and then maybe I can make this. I have the Solarium for this. I have the pure netherite. I'll need these chips, which need to be done in the sterile clean room, which might be annoying. I should do this as soon as I can, and this needs silicon carbide over bismuth tritelluride. Oh my god, my brain. I can chem plant it. Oh, I think I have to chem plant it. Okay. What the hell is this stuff? It's boron and hydrogen, and it just needs to get electrolyzed. Okay. Right. This is just such a mess. Okay. How are these doing? Crafting the energy clusters. Okay, cool. Right. So I have silicon carbide. To do it like dark and add more. Add more what? Bismuth 3 nitrate. Bismuth and nitric acid. More everything. I could probably do it at a couple more assembly lines. Because I have 2, and 2 is nice. It's not terrible. It's just a little slow. Right, those done. Which one of you is supposed to be making my... I guess I need to redo the thing. Why not? I know why. The reason why is because the UHV motors data, I bet, is not in here. Nope. Is it, however, in here? No. Okay, is it in my research station? Yes. Okay, I chucked that into the system, and my fuzzy export bus will export the data module straight into my thing, which means this should have just started by itself. Assuming there was space. UHV. Okay, where'd it go? Just didn't go in. Okay. Sure. My cat is on my desk. Hi. Account was also created 9 minutes ago, me weasel. I don't really know what to make of that. There it is, the motor. Did I not hold the micro power router? Jeez, my bad. My cat is just headbutting my hand on the mouse or the mic clamp, and it's really annoying. Wants attention, please. I'm trying to Greg. Right, can the quest complete? Right, I haven't got the Abydos ingots quest, apparently. Maybe. Yeah, I need to hold these things. I have 2 of these. I got this one. And I got the iron green one. Oh, there we go. Hooray. Okay. I'm gonna need a chem plant. Don't headbutt the mic, please. Right, I need peak casing. How much do I need? 50. Okay, congratulations. I can't see it. Where's my peak? That's supposed to be 2048 of that stuff. I feel like it probably wasn't. Oh well. Alright, what else do I need? I need some tungsten frames, 16.
Keep following
8
and
of the
following.
coil. Thank you for the follow, dude. Considering your account is 13 minutes old, I imagine I am the first one. We're not playing XCOM, so that's a bit pointless of a redeem, I'm afraid. Right. Tungsten frames, sure. Right. Frames, the coil. How much was it? 8 of it, sure. 12 heat vents, 8 PTFE casing. Tantalum carbide. Why hasn't this got its own EBF? In fact, how about... I know it doesn't have its own EBF, so why shouldn't it just go in here? Oh, it would help if I set it to be the regular ingot. There we go. Right, now when I say I want some heat vents, good, okay. Right, PTFE pipe casing, how much of it did I need? I'm assuming 12. It was 8, okay, and then 8 extreme engine intake casing. I guess I could wall share this. So here? Yeah. I have 10 peaks still. I'm confused. What am I missing? The tungsten frame. The coil as well. Oops. The PTFE. Yeah, what happened to this PTFE stuff? The ingots aren't crafting in the fluid solidifier. I bet it made plates rather than ingots. Of course. They're conflicting with each other. Oh, that's really annoying. Okay. One of these should just be on passive, and I'm going to say that it is the sheets that should be on passive. I don't really know. It was something. It was an idea, and it clearly didn't go to plan. Right, let's make a fluid solidifier on passive up here that does it instead. Oh, we got ads coming, by the way, so we will be doing time guesser when I'm done with this. Right, a fluid solidifier. Breaking the wall, man. Sure. Well, I like to think that time guess is probably the opposite of brain rot. Makes you think. There we go. Okay. Polytetrafluoroethylene goes in. We grab a plate mold. Yes, I want a plate mold. It makes me a load of sheets. I get a downgraded draw. Auto output. I will do 512. That's fine. Lock the draw. And then go ahead. Okay. As a temporary fix to me fixing the fluid solidifier downstairs, we will fix that. But we'll do the time guesser first. Get it up. Time guesser. So yesterday, it's out of 50,000 points, 5 guesses, up to 10,000 points per guess. We like to get over 40k each time. We got 43,000 last time. Right. Here's a bit of a flashbang. Sorry. Right, the daily. Here we go. Okay, that says 1910, but that could just be something else. Today is... What? How can it be March 32nd? Okay. Curious. I don't think it's 1932. I think that is just a sign being broken or doing something weird. I imagine we are in Boston or thereabouts. I'm not going to try and be pretty accurate with it. But the year, looking at the cars, it's at least the 50s, right? I'm going to go like 57, maybe? 56. 62, but it was Boston. Because of a strike, no one changed it to April 1st, so it went to March 32nd, resulting in an accidental April Fool's joke. That's great. I love it. Okay. I'm getting the vibe of post-war Europe. Yes, that is French. I think. Double check. Let's keep looking. I don't want to jump the gun. Yeah. So this is going to be 1945, maybe 44. They're probably American soldiers. Right, there's nothing that's really giving away exactly where it is. There seems to be like tram lines, which doesn't really help. It could be anywhere. Yeah. This is definitely like post-war. These are like American soldiers driving through somewhere in Europe. Assuming that that is French. I don't know why, but I'm getting the vibe that it's more Belgium than it is France. So I'm willing to just put it in Brussels. I guess the trams. I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking Brussels more. I can't really read these. All right. There's a place in Brussels called Stalingrad. I didn't know that. That's hilarious. All right, just pick somewhere. It could be 44, but if we're only 1 year off, I'm not going to complain. It was the Hague. Okay, I'm glad that I got weird Dutch vibes, and I didn't. That's why I went with Belgium instead of France, and I'm glad that I did. But I probably should have worked out that that was not French. My bad. I'm normally better at the languages than that. That's pretty abysmal for me. Speaking of, um, okay, dude's got a pretty modern phone. I know we're in Southeast Asia, but I'm not entirely confident on which country it is. So I'm gonna see if I can find something that stands out to me. Yeah, this doesn't seem right. Let me check Hanoi. Hey, Spider. Help me out here. I know we're in Southeast Asia, but I'm not confident on what country it is. That was where we were looking at first, but I couldn't find anywhere with the names. Well, I had a feeling it was. That was my first guess. I went to double check. Oh, never mind. There we go. Alright. Okay, and then the year, yeah, it's probably... Hmm... It's gonna be relatively modern. I'm just... You gotta go off his phone, right? That's kind of it. But, like, he could just have an older phone, you know? I'm gonna hedge my bets and go 2024. Well, I assumed that we were in Bangkok initially, and I just went to double check places because I wasn't entirely confident. Right. Rip it. 2011. Oh. Unlucky. Right, we have two more guesses with 4,500 points left to lose if you want to get above 40,000. Right. I don't recognize the license plate at all. I probably need to recognize the buildings. They're driving on the right. It looks like the early 60s, maybe. It's probably European. Sticker. It's like an M. Spider, I'll have you know we have a UHV motor. So, shush. Right. SG. Well, you know what I think when I think SG, you know what I think of? I know German geography. I can find it. Can you imagine? Well, yeah, I'm thinking this is the 60s. I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, there's literally nothing I can really go off. It looks vaguely European. The street is really wide. Okay. Well, what else could the SG stand for, do we think, then? And, like, this road sign. I don't know what this road sign is. The thing is, if it is Swiss or Austrian, then my guess isn't going to be that bad. It's more that if it ends up being America, that I'm, like, really screwed. Right? But this does not look very American. Apart from, like, the traffic lights. But this sign doesn't look very American. Or, like, the pavement. Tricky, man. I don't know. Do I just rip it? 56. And we were in Prague. Okay. We have to get this bang on. Okay, cheers. It's giving me the year. London to Munich. And it's the start. Well, there you go. Yeah. And there's a big old Union Jack as well. Okay, it threw me a bone for the last one. That's very kind. Unless we're getting baited. But I would be very surprised if we were. Right. I don't know exactly where we are, but let's just go to like, sure. There you go. Where did it start? In Wembley, outside Wembley Stadium. Huh. Sure. Cool. 41,000. I'll take it. We got over the 40k that we wanted to, so I'm happy. Alright, cracking back on with the chem plant. So we are trying to make, this is for Spider's sake, we're trying to make this stuff. The silicon carbide over bismuth tritelluride. I do need tellurium, and that does need me to process it. It's the only one I haven't done yet. So there's two ways to get it, it seems. Electromagnetically separating either of them, and I get gold and silver as byproducts. Okay, so this stuff should be shoved in the autoclave, along with the other stuff. What was it called? Yeah, okay. So we'll send both of those through. My autoclave. Too far. Where am I going? Here is my autoclave. Okay. You and you. Soft mallet this because I want to upgrade the parallel hatch to at least the 64 one. Right, and then this stuff, once autoclaved, the ore processing, yeah, because it's doubling the whole way through. We macerate, we ore wash, we downward centrifuge, we macerate again. Power's great. We replaced the Melodium turbine with a Stellarium one. So my power's now even better than it was before. We got 15 trillion, and we're making 22 million EU a tick currently. So we're doing fantastic. It's good. I may do, yeah. I might honestly end up making a second Supreme Plasma Turbine and then getting rid of the old Plasma Turbines. Maybe. Right. You can go back on. Let it do its thing. Catch back up with everything. Titanite, Strontiite, there's all the new stuff. Okay. So those are going to get shoved in the macerator. Oh, the other one was we're doing first. Okay. Just to be clear, this ore processing is the same. Yeah. I really should have put those in the other place. It's fine. Right. This, and then the silver. No, I'm not going to move them. What I'm going to do is when these are full, I'm going to make new ones that go here anyway. Right, and then thermal centrifuge. So grab the purified of each of these. And then they get macerated again as the refined versions of these things. And that is the ore processing done. Okay, and we get all this stuff, and then it's 3 to 2 in an electromagnetic separator, which is an electromagnet multi-block. I also got Zalloy Coil Spider, by the way. You did miss all this. It's quite, you know, the stream title is quite appropriate. Considering the stuff we made. Right. I'm gonna stick the electromagnet somewhere. Probably here. I don't really know where else I'd put it. It wouldn't fit in here. It would fit. I don't want to put it there because I might end up making another molten destabilizer. One back. Right. Also maintenance hatch. And then round the back. Stocking bus, output bus, and UV4 amp. My drill did a weird thing. I don't know. I don't know, Spider. I don't know why it's being weird. The multi didn't form. That's weird. We will troubleshoot that in a second. Let me grab a flux point. Can I just make like 100 of these? What the... What? I didn't like that. There we go. Okay, there's tellurium. Okay. So I have these two now. I just need to make the bismuth 3 nitrate and the sodium borohydride, which both seem to be LCR recipes. Yeah, just 2 LCR recipes. 23 borax. Jeez. How much borax do I have? Enough. Back to my LCR room. Oh, no, I have coil. Never mind. Okay. Did either of these recipes need better than better than ZPM? No, I don't do ZPM. Actually, I want to do UV. I changed my mind. Okay, so these two recipes, I need stocking of both of those, and for the bismuth one, I need yeah, stocking of both, output of both. That's a lot of outputs. I didn't check the outputs of the borax one. Okay. That makes things a bit more complicated. Right. It should be fine. Having two item outputs is a bit tricky to work with, but it should be okay. The way I'm gonna do it is we'll process the sodium oxide straight away, so there won't be any chance of it blocking it up. Right, let's grab stocking of both and ME outputs of both. Well, definitely hatches. Let's do ULV output bus, I think. Okay. So the bismuth one, you're the easy one. You will have the output hatch that's there. Actually, will you? Yes, you will. And then we grab the stocking. We shove the bismuth in. With nitric acid in the other one. There you go. 5 seconds, and then you make bismuth 3 nitrate. Which we will put in a drawer. With a downgrade. We will lock the drawer. And then give it a storage bus. Cool. Okay, next is this one. So you take stocking of both. And borax, sodium, and hydrogen. So borax, sodium, and hydrogen. Now, there wasn't any setting that I missed, right? No. That ME output hatch will be used to output the water, and then both those outputs come, both those dusts will come through the top. Plug the things in. There you go. It's going pretty good, dude. Doing the usual crap. LCRs and stuff. Right, let me lock this drawer. We'll link it up with the storage bus. And then what we're going to do is process that sodium oxide. Water purification. How big of a rabbit hole is that? Right, where's the sodium oxide? Chuck that in. Oh, crap. I already had a load of it already. Because it's a byproduct when you process titanite. Okay, but it's only good for this. Yes, okay, so I can just leave this to get electrolyzed. Right, and then what that's going to do is free up the slot under here. This is going to be empty, which means it will fill up with sodium borohydride, which is what we want. Right, I believe that's everything I need for the chem plant. So, if I come back over here. This is not where I was doing the chem plant. I was doing the chem plant over here. It's this guy. So you are not on chem line reduction, you are on advanced chemical synthesis. Right, we're making this dust here. Yeah, and we want the dust itself. I could level limit this machine, but... Well, how long does the recipe take? 20 seconds ZPM. I don't think I need a configurable maintenance hatch for this then. Whoops. Is that supposed to go there? Yes. We have to do it in Theta as well. Oh, joy. Okay. So... Stocking input bus, and then output hatch. For the output hatch, stocking input bus, then a regular LV output bus super top. Go, bring this cable across. Right, and then the stocking bus. So you need this, 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 and this. Inflict myself with mining fatigue? What, to slow the drill down? Unironically, the sands stuff wasn't like the shifting sands or whatever it was, that effect. Did that give me mining fatigue or just give me slowness? I don't remember. Hey Kuko, how's it going? Right. There we go. That is all the components we need. Only thing missing is the output bus. Okay. 1x2 draw. Okay, go to downgrade. Let's lock that in place. I haven't really got anything I can link it to. I'll bring the cable across. Okay, and then we need to process the sodium nitrate, which just gets electrolyzed. So, coming back down here. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted. And then we get this stuff. The quest didn't like me getting this stuff. I never held any bismuth. Nope, it is made to get electrolyzed. Okay, that's a lot of quests completed. The borohydride. There we go. Now this stuff needs to be turned into UEPIC chips. That needs to be in a sterile clean room. Oh crap. Right. Where to put it? There isn't anything past UEPIC, right? Okay, take it back. There totally is. There are, but I'm nowhere near them. Okay. There is a world where I need to make the sterile clean room bigger. I think what I'm gonna do is make an LCR here underneath this stuff, and then there's a chance that I widen the sterile clean room. I know it will cost me more with the filter casing, but I honestly don't mind. That, you know, it cost me a load of trinium, but how much trinium do I have? Loads. I had 2048. It was fine. Yeah, let's make this. No problem. We will be. I'm nearing the end, but we'll probably be back. We'll probably still be here when you're back. Whoops. Right, automated hatch. I'm gonna make UEPIC chips. So these need stocking of both. And there was no byproduct. No. So a ULV output bus would do nice. Along with a draw with a downgrade. I know we said no more like big long cables, but I can just go down here quick, right? Okay. UHV energy hatch, UHV converter, flip that round, grab a flux point, stick it on, put it on the network, bypass the limit. Right, the stocking input. You need UH pig wafers and this new dust. UH pig wafers and a new dust. Great. And then we shove in my liquid neutronium into here. Good. Sometimes I remember that I'm a little stupid. Needs a clean room hatch. Luckily, this is the sterile clean room one. Hello, spider. Just getting the clean room hatch, which I forgot about. And then we will have epic chips. Ta-da! Ooh, every 4 seconds. I mean, it's very expensive on the power, but there it is. Epic wafers. Now, annoyingly, I know for a fact that these things need to be cut in the sterile clean room, which is really obnoxious. But hey ho, we'll make it work. Let me grab my lock and link. Where is my draw controller? Here it is. There we are. Right, and then I'm going to grab a UV cutter. Would be nice. This guy. I need a duranium buzzsaw blade. Make sure these are swapped out with universals. Chuck that in here. Grab this. That goes in the lathe. This goes in the extruder. Extruder gear. Buzzsaw blade goes in the lathe. Right, the UV cutter. And I will try and squeeze it in with these other UV machines. These are currently powered with transformers. Okay, well that is a bit of an issue. I can maybe squeeze it in up here. Right. I would love to have an export bus. Which shoves these wafers in along with lubricant. There we go. Every 45 seconds we'll get some of those, and then I will grab a drawer. Right. These chips, how many of these are used in each recipe of things we make? 4. Okay, 3 stacks. I doubt I'm not making that anytime soon though. Oh god. Okay, it would be wise for me to just not bother with the downgrade. I think 2048 is completely fine. Let this just run. Because I'm not very close to this, I don't think. A dragon head? How do I get a dragon head? Whatever. Alright, there is epic chips. Hooray. Lock and link draw. Cool. Okay. We got the UHV motor, Zalloy, and epic chips all this stream. That's pretty good, right? That feels good. I can now get the exotic gas siphon. Maybe. Technically I can. We'll consider getting that soon. I think the first thing I want to do, though, would be get the pump and field gen that I need for the cyclonic sifter. So I'm going to need this micro fluid valve thing. Micro fluidic flow valve. It needs a UV fluid regulator. Of course it does. Let me get rid of a lot of this stuff. Okay. So I need a small neutronium pipe. I need a fluid regulator. That's such a goofy recipe, but it is what it is. That was an assembler as well, right? Yeah. Okay, and then this ring. I could extrude the dust into an ingot. Have I got an ingot extruder? No. I can make one. Wait, this is the raw stuff. Let me clear this and look at the ring again. It is extrude into a ring, but I should do it with the ingot. Yeah, I don't really have a choice. Right. My fluid solidifier. I need to this isn't it? Yes. I need to redo it. It's going to need a load of dual hatches, isn't it? Realistically. Well, we have the issue of I can't put all these in the same thing. Oh, I know how I could do it without doing that. Yeah, I just need I need a load of regular buses. One for each of these. And then the pattern provider goes on those, not in this weird subnet thing. Like how the extruder's set up, right? I put the buses down. Each one of the buses has one of the molds in, and I put down different pattern providers for each of the different molds, and then the patterns go on the right ones with the right mold. And then I have a hatch that does everything. No, I know that. Like you said, oh, I see what you mean. Then I do use dual hatches. Uh, then what do I do? I shouldn't have made the multi-box to begin with and should just use one of these. That's what I'm thinking. I don't want to make single block ones. I liked this. I just wanted this to work. Okay, let me sort the rest of this out first. Ring extruder, small pipes, fluid regulators. Let's not put that in there. Let's put this in. Where is it? This guy. Um, where are my component parts? Yes. Okay. Right. I think I know the solution. The plate is the one that will conflict the most. I mean, the gear and the rotor will as well, but I am not making any gears or rotors in here. Okay, let me take those out too. Okay, there you go. Um, hmm. Let me queue up the thing. Make the fluidic flow valve. I feel like a UV fluid solidifier to make glass panes is the most overkill thing I could do. Is it not? I thought, hang on, I do have spray cans, but does it just not work yet? It's just not a thing yet. Okay, well, there's this thing. Uh, Plates, pattern provider. Well, there you go. Guess I could rename it. Not glass. No, not pane. Plate. There we go. Ridiculous. Stupid. I'm sure we'll fix this properly when it bothers me again. I just don't care enough right now. I want to make a UHV pump. Oh, I need that other thing. Okay, make this. This needs a normal neutronium pipe. Fantastic. I hate that. I also need this stuff. This is alloy, which we've not made yet. Alloy 4 rotor. Normal pipe. And then a pump can go in here. Okay. This. How I get this ingot? What is this from? Oh my god. So we're not going to do the ABS recipe unless I have to. Oh, why did no one warn me? Right. Let's do the maths. So when you're calculating these things, the output of the molten is the total of all the dusts put together. So 254, 256, 257. There are 257 ingots here. So I take this away and I say I would like 257 of these. There we go. I don't want to do this, but I would like one of these. Oh my god. Right. With a UHV4 amp? Yes, it was. Do you want to know how that works? I'll show you how that works. This is the programmed circuit card mod, which basically allows you to put this thing into pattern providers, and then when you make the pattern and encode it, the program circuit is in there, and what it will do is it will change the program circuit for you in here. The only thing you have to do is make sure you only allow the same pattern to be pushed through at a time with blocking mode. Otherwise, it works fine. It's great. It's really, really useful. Big fan. So yeah, that because I took what happened there with what I did is I took the neon out because the neon is in the stocking input hatch here. Hey Zach. Exactly. Yes. So if I go over to like my bender over here, right? Or my wires, I have a choice basically. I can set this to be set the circuit to what I want. So for this one I've got 1x or circuit 1 for all my regular plates and stuff. But then let's say I have things like the bucket and the fluid cells. This needs like setting 7 or something. So I'd want to use it for this because it's such a random program circuit to have on it, right? Like empty fluid cells, what do they use? 12, setting 12. It's like setting 12 and 7 are in this one together, right? Because it's got this little card. Not even blocking. Shh, it's fine. Okay, how many times am I mass producing fluid cells and buckets at the same time? Right. while this is getting made, let's go do the crosswordle because we've got ads going. APOC has turbo, so he doesn't have the ads, which is useful. So I could explain that. Yeah, it's great. I love the program circuit card, and it comes in really early game as well. It's great. Right, let me grab the chat, move you guys to the middle. And as always, Spider likes us to do farts as the first guess, and there you go. Okay. But there in the end. Short. Okay. Oh, it's strap, not strip. What? Strap? Jeez. Right. Okay. That's not going to be a word. Hmm. Maybe I guess this way down first. Okay. Rails. No, the I is not in the middle now. We just tested that. The T could be. So I could do a something TR. I don't know what that could be though. Antic. Okay, whenever hypercraft, there's no I hypercrafting. I'm so sorry. You're always so quiet, and then you just pull out like the right answer every single time. But no, there's no I. Sorry. Um, Good test. There's also an R in this and an E, and we need those. I could do R here. This is a weird one. I guess it could be ER at the end. After. Oh, nice. Pa. Oh, per. Okay. I don't know what this could be. Let's get this one right. This has just really confused me. I can't think of a word. Like, that's not a word. This isn't going to be a word. I don't know what this is. I guess I could do the 4 down one. I need something with E. Interesting. Rated? It's got an I. Uh, what a weird. This is weird. I don't know what this is going to be. I can't really. I'm struggling to put letters in. It could be SS. I could try like um I could try rats here. Okay. So it's not double S at the end. The I isn't second here, which is why I'm so confused on this word. It's probably raid here. Nope. Could be rail. I think someone said rail earlier, right? Zach said rails, but this could be rail. If it is rail, then what is this going to be? Something something ELS. Uh, this doesn't. This is this. Are we like? Am I being really dumb? Is the word like really obvious, and I'm just like, not. That was a word. Oh god. Well, we know it's not that. I have no idea where I pulled that from, but there we go. I knew there was something about that I in the fourth letter spot that we were missing, and it was just evens. But this could be rail. I could try evens, but I don't think the end's gonna be right. Nope, I take it back. And it was just rain. Yeah, that's so obvious. Well done, hypercrafting. I'm sorry for not getting that earlier. Uh, fan and eons. That's not how that's not how these words are spelled, but I could do this anyway. Oh god. Ecos. Nope. Jeez. Um. Oh god. uh. Did we do R? We haven't done R. Oh my god. I have two more guesses. Um. Oh jeez. It's not gonna be G. Oh my god, it might be G. It might be G. I don't think that's the problem. Oh my god. Oh. It's another word for cigarette, guys. It's fine. Oh god damn it. Oh. What a bunch of weird words. Oh. Right, here's all our stupid alloy. Hypercrafting, why didn't you tell me about this? Or did you? Did you tell me about this? This stupid recipe needing 200 of this stuff. Right, UHV pump. If you think about it, if you swing, you have to swing back and forth, right? If you can't swing one way because that's not how swinging works. Think about that. Very weird seeing a non-British person say swings and roundabouts. Did I put this in the right place? Oh god. Why are we not making the pump? I know why we're not making the pump. It's because I haven't got the data for the pump. Oh. Okay. I feel like Americans probably get more freaked out, but right. I have a pump. I have a motor. What is the other thing I need for the cyclonic sifter? The field gen. And the field gen needs the emitter, and the emitter needs the computational matrix and the catalyst core. You found a block to make your water factory out. What block are you making out of? Out of curiosity. I've already forgotten the names of those things. Computational matrix and catalyst core. Jeez, there's more of them. Okay. I can make this. Okay, and then the computational whatever the hell. This guy. Oh, you're expensive. Okay, 3 ZPM circuits, 2 UV circuits, and 1 UHV circuit, and some QRAM. Ugh. Okay, awesome. Right, frames. All my frames are in here. What a mess. Is that a cheap block to make? It doesn't sound like it's very cheap to make. Is this done yet? Jeez. Right. Computational whatever component, sorry. This is what I want. Right, and then I need QRAM. Oh crap. Okay, well we're not doing this straight away. One reinforced stone and 1,000 liters of naphthalene. Or yeah, wait, is it, do you mean, oh god. Do you mean this stuff? Okay, cool. Right, I'm just thinking. Okay, one, where is my pump? Is my pump now working? We got a pump? Why can't you make me the pump? Why isn't it going in anymore? It's not auto pushing it in. Oh yeah, no, I wish I could just like auto convert RF to EU. I just see SpongeBob at the end of that message and I have no idea what's going on. That's great. I wouldn't have it any other way. Oh, are you kidding me? I didn't hold the stupid fluid valve and now I haven't done the quest. Oh, god damn it. Okay, this... Oh, jeez. That's fine. Whatever. I need to make the sterile clean room bigger. But that unfortunately might be a next stream job. We can queue up... what? Oh, jeez. Guess we're processing some sphalerite. What? I understand where the issue is. Right, there we go. That will fix that problem. I wanted to make some sterilizing filter casing. Okay. Realistically, I want to make this thing wider because the sterilizing casing isn't that expensive anymore. If I brought it out by, say, this much, it's 35 that way, and then 35 the other way. Would that be too wide? How wide is the clean room? The clean room max size is 17 by 17. No, it's 15 by 15. That's on the inside, right? So it is 17 by 17. So this is currently 9. Okay. If it's 7, I can probably add 3 each way. Okay, then I add 3 each way. There you go. 4 each way is max. If it's 15 by 15, then 3 each way is max. If it's 17 by 17, then yeah, it would be 4. Yeah, do we know which way round it's counted? How big is one up here? $15. Yeah, I reckon it's the outside dimensions then. Alright, then it's 3 each way. Which, using this stuff, is 21 on each side. So I just need 2 more. What? No clay dust? I mean, like, really? And then, clean room glass. I will need a little bit more. Okay, we're gonna break the clean room. Okay, and that's brought this out to supposedly the max size. This stupid building. Right, I might, can I cut and paste maybe? Right, let's fill this wall out. Okay, that's this side done. Ish. Clean room glass. There we go. Now that side's done. Firestone for clearing a jungle? I have no idea how that works. But it sounds cool. Did the clean room form? I hope not, because it's currently missing a wall. I should paste. There. What makes you say that? Or I just get the mod, right? The GregTech Utils mod or whatever. It formed. We're chilling. Wider clean room. It just looks a bit silly because it's wide and not like square. But it's formed. Then there's room for some LCRs on the back here. Yeah. I honestly I don't mind. I don't actually mind it looking a little silly. Right. Let me get this QRAM set up. I know I said I was gonna stop soon, but this is gonna need UV. Let's do UHV. Do this and this. I think it just needs to be rectangular. As long as it fits in the parameters, it can be whatever shape it needs to be. But yeah, doesn't need to be a cube. SB. Right, stocking of both and then output. Single block. Oh. That's quite nice. No. I'm gonna use a wires connector. Right. Let's see. Put it there. Didn't like that. I might hate that actually. Okay. This, then this, then this, then this. Yes. They were sharing the maintenance hatch. That was the problem there. Right. Radon goes in. And RAM wafers and the new dust go in here. And boom, QRAM wafers. Lock and link the drawer. Well, no quest. Where's QRAM? Wow, just doesn't have a quest. Crazy. Right, and it needs to be cut with a UHV cutter. Okay, and that's where the fun ends. So I can't make the conveyor just yet. Okay. Oh, okay, hang on. I've got an idea. If the cutter goes here, then we can power it. If I move this. So the converter can still go there. I move the energy hatch up one. Move the stocking hatch here, and then fill this in. And then this goes right on. I do need the superconductor for UHV. What's the UHV superconductor? Stellarium. It's just a very similar color. I got confused. Alright, there you go. Yeah, and then we bring this cable up and then plug it in here, and then boom, we can go straight from wafer to cutter. Okay. I will do that next time though. So let's go find someone to raid. And let me switch to ending soon. There we go. Chemcraft is live, but I'll have a look at the GregTech tab and see what there is. Of course, Zach, of course. Do I send you Terraformer Greg, or do I send you to... There's some GTNH stuff. I'll send you Chemcraft's way. Right. Of course. I won't be streaming tomorrow because it's my birthday. But I should be back Saturday, probably. Just thinking. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Oh, the stream the other day that we had where we had that silly hype train going. That was all I needed. No. I'm older than that, unfortunately. Right. Raid is set up. Let me... Jeez, behave, Spider. Come on. Right. Raid message is ready. Take care, guys. I will see you Saturday. All right.